Changemaking is about finding a spark, figuring out what that means for you, and then finding ways for you to create tangible change.
Changemaking, I would say, is going against the flow. It's something that is much easier said than done because no one really likes to step outside their comfort zone and stand up for something that isn't represented very well.
For me, change-making means that it's understanding and appreciating where you're at and how can you move from where you're at and help other people that are below you.
I would say that engaging with change-making looks different for every person. For some people, it's starting different projects that could be really broad scale that might impact people all over the world, and it could be things right within yourselves.
Well, it said right in our mission statement, we are students who work for the common good. And if you are a student here, getting your education is important, yes, but what are you going to do with your education when you go out into the real world? I think that it's so important to gain those perspectives now and to get engaged now so that in the future, you're like, I've already done this before and I can keep doing it for the rest of my life.
Commies should definitely be involved in changemaking because we have the ability and we have the alumni base. We always are talking about how strong our alumni are and the support, and you can see it through our campus and through our activities that we have daily.
And I think every single Tommy student should seek for making a better world, because if you as a Tommy don't make any changes, then who's going to make that change?
You can't make change or take actions if you aren't aware of what issues exist in the world.
I see a lot of change making as awareness, learning perspectives and engaging with people and communities that are different from your own. And the Untold Stories Project does exactly that. They go out into the world and they're constantly engaging with people with different perspectives and experiences from their own.
I heard about Untold Stories through watching PBS NewsHour, and so this was an opportunity for me to meet Fred and to learn more personally from him and his team about Untold Stories, which I thought was a really cool experience.
They bring light to some of the issues that aren't often told in mainstream media, especially issues of poverty, healthcare, education. Those are all issues that impact everyone globally, but in other parts of the world it has serious impact on the way that they can live. And I think being in America, being in Minnesota, we are so far removed from those issues.
They raise awareness on a large scale because it's publicly broadcasted on PBS NewsHour, and all of these people that are viewing are gaining new perspectives and this new awareness of what's going on the other side of the globe. And I think that's so important in change-making. I think it's an opportunity to learn so much, and it's a very eye-opening experience to be able to watch these edited down versions of what's actually happening. And that realization that, this is just one small perspective and one small story in a sea of unheard stories in the rest of the world.
Being given the opportunity to go learn more about life at the border, and then bringing back that experience of firsthand knowledge and learning from people who live down there all the time, and this is their daily lives, is really impactful to bring back both personal and national / global change making, and the intersectionality of all of those. The construct of borders is something that affects everybody, whether or not they know it. And so to do personal, inward looking about what a border means to you and what your experience with borders is, but then to know that you are able to make change here that can affect people that you will never meet, that you will never know their life story, but your work could affect them.
I think that mindfulness practice is important for change making because mindfulness helps us pause and slow down and really understand more about who we are and what our values are. And I don't think that we can truly practice change making in a local, national, global way if we don't really understand ourselves and do that personal transformation work. I think that taking that pause can be in a really traditional sense, like just stop and like take a breath, or do meditation. I think that pause can also be conversations with one another about your values. What do you want to see happen in the world? What are you feeling? Are you stressed? Sort of just like being able to take time to process all of the inner emotions that are happening, stopping your studies for half an hour, and just like sitting with yourself, eating lunch but not doing homework while you're eating, just noticing your food and enjoying that moment. I think that those are really great ways that you can build mindfulness into your day. Like when you're driving your car to go to work, really just like listening to music and focusing on what you're doing, not thinking about the 5 emails that you have to send later in the day. That's something that I found is really helpful for me to just slow down throughout my day.
So today we're doing the Hunger Banquet, which is a live, real-time simulation of sorts of class divides and how food insecurity relates to each class. So we have the highest class, and they have glasses, they have fabric on their tables, and then the middle class, they have a buffet, but they can only go up once to get their food. And then the lower class here has just a bowl of rice, and that's all they get for the entire time. So really all of this is just intended to give students a little bit of a better understanding on a more tangible level of what the class divides look like on a small scale, so that they can help try to understand class divides on a large scale. Because oftentimes we have issues that are so big and they feel so incomprehensible, and we're just like, oh, it's just me. Like, I'm just a student at a university studying, and I'm just trying to graduate and get my degree. What can I do to address such a huge issue?
We kind of go through our daily lives, taking a lot of things for granted, especially on a campus this special and with this many opportunities that are given to us. So I thought it'd help get involved a little bit, get the word out, and it's just nice because we don't really get to see the world through this lens that often, and we don't get the opportunity to step outside our comfort zone. So I thought I'd try to throw myself out there and experience something new.
The one thing I would like you to remember is this: everyone on earth has the same basic needs. It is only our circumstances, where we live, and the culture in which we were born that differ. Some of us are born into relative prosperity and security, while millions, through no choice of their own, are born into poverty. Hunger is also a parent in North Minneapolis skipping meals to feed their child. Hunger is food deserts, neighborhoods where it's difficult to find nearby fresh produce. It's food swamps, neighborhoods with more food shelves and fast food than grocery stores. Hunger is disproportionately heightened risks of diabetes for certain communities because healthy food is not affordable.
I think an agent of change is somebody who embraces the discomfort of not knowing everything and saying, yeah, I'm just one small person, but I have a lot of power and I have a lot of voice and say as to what is going on in the world. It's about recognizing your privilege and recognizing how you can use it for the betterment of the greater society.